Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing 3axis.co. It's a really handy website for laser cut files, and sometimes you have to edit them. If you've came across a file on here that you need to edit and you're not quite sure how to do it, or if you want to play around with it, then maybe this video can help. I also discuss DeepNest, so that can help as well. So we'll just start off by searching for the file I'm wanting. I found this file already. I've actually already got it on my computer, but we'll get it downloaded. It comes as a CDR file, so once it's downloaded we'll need to use Google to convert it from a CDR to SVG for use in my program. So to do that, we just type in CDR to SVG into the search bar, and Cloud Convert comes up. It's the one that I use all the time, and it's the one that I've not had any problems with. So it's dead simple. You just upload the file you want, which is the most recent one, and then it automatically converts it into a SVG. You just hit the red convert button, and then once that's done, you can just download it. Like I said, I've already got it on my computer, so I'm not going to download it. Then we open it up in Inkscape. So we'll just open up the downloads folder then, and you can see there it's converted it into an SVG. It's got the little Inkscape logo there. So this is the file. I obviously had it already. I've changed it a little bit. So here's what we want to achieve. I'm just going to copy and paste this into the file for reference later. And it's obviously a lot smaller than the standard file as it comes from 3axis. So the reindeer on the right there is the one that I've already edited, so we're going to work on this one on the left. So just have to go in and edit the nodes on that, and we'll just check for everything else is fine, and then we'll edit those nodes. I'll just do a wee speed run through, then we'll get on with it, editing and rescaling so it's the size we want it. So you can see all the different selection boxes there, and basically what I want to do is at the corners there where it's not closed is just go along, select them, and use the join nodes tool just in the top left hand side there, and then close them for each one. Fortunately, this is only a big section of the design that needs altered. There's two legs that need a little bit altering as well. I noticed that they had open joints on them as well, so I'll do them off camera, but this is basically as simple as that. That's all you need to do. So now that I'm happy with that, I'm just going to convert it all to black so we can see it easily, and then we'll get started on rescaling. So to do this, all I'm going to do is draw a 6mm box, because that's what size thickness my wood is. I'm actually making it 6.2 to allow wiggle room so it's all slots together again. And then what I'll do is I'll just keep rescaling it, dragging it in for the corners there, and matching it up to the slots. I actually discovered that the slots on the feet are a wee bit different to the actual slots, so I go onto the belly section here and do the same again. So it's just a case of rinse and repeat until we're happy with it, using that 6.2mm box to align it up with the slots. I'm doing it this way rather than using light burners, because I actually needed to scale down the overall size of the deer as well, because this deer was massive beforehand. So I did some fine tuning before, that's why it's now yellow. Next we're going to use DeepNest, so we need to select it all and then copy and paste it into a new document. The reason for doing this is because we need a file that we can upload to DeepNest, and it can't have anything else in the background. So once we've got it in here, we just draw our sheet stock material size. So mine is 900 by 600 millimeters. And the reason for drawing out the stock material on this file is so that DeepNest has a reference point for laying out all the items. So now that we've done that, it's just a case of saving this file. I'm going to save it under beside the rest of the files, just so I know where they are just now until I move them to where they'll finally go, if I ever get round to organising my desktop, because it's a bit of a mess. So I'm just going to label this Deer 2 so I differentiate it between this and the other Deer files. And now we open up DeepNest. DeepNest takes a bit of a while. It uses your computer hardware to work this out, so on slower computers it might not work as well. So it takes a wee bit of time to load everything in, but then you can see all the shapes, individual individually listed there, and then we go down and we select that box which is our sheet material and times it by 2 just so there's enough space. And then once that's done, you can hit Start Nest. So in total it probably took about 15 minutes to get to this level, and it's given me 4 different options. I've already picked out the best one, which is this one, and then we just go in, export, save SVG, and I'm just going to replace dir2 with this file. So what happens now is it saves it as a DXF file, which I tend to convert back into SVG. It's just because that's what I'm used to working with. So to open this up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that big file that's got all the different ones in first, and once that's open I can drag the DXF file into that file and then save the whole lot. And then it's just a case of copy and pasting it into Lightburn. So now that it's open, Lightburn's open, we can just drag that file into Inkscape and press OK. And there we have the nested project. You can see it's in 2 neat sections, and all we need to do now is copy the section we want, then open up Lightburn and paste it in there, and then we can alter the settings for cut parameters and stuff like that. So as I said before, we just paste it into Lightburn, move it to where we want it, and then I'm going to use my pre-selected MDF 6mm cut. Just a case of simply selecting that and then hitting assign, and then that changes it from an engraved job to a cut job, and then it's a case of firing over to the laser. So that's what we'll do. So now that we're on the laser, I thought I would try out a new setting on my phone, because I got a new phone recently and I'm doing a time lapse on this video just to see how it goes. So do you prefer this time lapse or just prefer the speed through on my old style? You can let me know in the comments anyway, either way. So there's a few things I'm going to alter slightly with this design the next time I cut it out, and that number 1 is labeling each part. The biggest problem I had with this file when I was putting it together was figuring out where everything went. I suppose it's like a giant jigsaw, isn't it? A 3D jigsaw. But if I was to sell these flat pack, I think people would really struggle putting them together. So definitely next time I'm going to label each slot with a number, and the corresponding number will be on the part that slots into that. Other than that, this file from Access was brilliant, and it cut really nicely on this Aeon Mira 9S. I can't say enough about this machine. It's just, honestly, it's fantastic. It cuts through pretty much everything I've thrown at it like butter. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So now that it's finished, then it was just a case of building it. I didn't film that because it was a bit of a faff to put them together, but hopefully you like the finished products. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if there's anything you'd like me to cover in depth or in more depth, please do leave a comment below. As always, please do like and subscribe, it really does help the channel. And as always guys, thanks for watching. Bye.